found in the God we trust. Any other identity will self-destruct. Yeah, our identity is found in the God we trust. Any other identity will self-destruct. I'm not the shoes I wear. I'm not the clothes I buy. I'm not the house I live in. I'm not the car I drive. No, I'm not the job I work. You can't define my word. By nothing on God's green earth, my identity is found in Christ.
I'm going to show you inside of a private session and then also inside of a team session. So this is dedicated to help all you trainers and coaches out there that are out there grinding, trying to make your players better. Whether you're a coach of a team or you guys are actually out there training multiple players at different levels, this is kind of what I do when it comes to player development. Here's an inside look of me training two high school players on specific things that we talked about before the session started. One is using their left hand, finishing with the left hand. Other is pick and roll situations, so we're going through different reads and actions. And then a lot of mid-range, so mid-range pull-up, mid-range floaters. Those are things that we specifically talked about before the session. Here's an inside look. Ben, set the screen right here. Over, you got the ball. So you're coming off this screen. Okay, freeze. If I'm the big and I hedge, you're going to have to go back. So stop, straight back. Like when you get in that situation, especially like when I was playing overseas, slow down. Slow down. Keep changing your speed. Here you go. Back to screen. Out. There you go. Change your speed. As soon as you catch it, curl it. Right there. Get There you go. It's like two handoffs. Right? Hand up. Back. Okay. Good. Slow. Hand up. Back at it. Go. Hand up. Go. Oh yeah! Can you get the defender there? Oh my. There are two main points when it comes to skills training I try to focus on. One is being player specific or skill specific. So if I'm working with the player one-on-one or a small group, I'm going to try to figure out exactly what they need to improve on and then focus in on that skill. I know a lot of trainers have like their drills that they do or specific techniques they use when they're training players, and that's great, but my thing is it applied specifically to that player to make them successful right now? An example of this is when in the summer I was training some of the pro players that are overseas right now. Every time they would come in, I would ask them about their offensive system, you know, where they're getting their shots from, what specific things they want to improve on, and then I would create the workout just around that specific thing. Now, the majority of the time I'm working with younger players, so I know that these certain skills are going to help them really improve. One thing I'm a big believer in is when I'm dealing with young players, they're beginners or they're just coming up in basketball, I'm really big about them being able to use both hands so they can shoot layups with both hands, they can dribble the ball with both hands against pressure, and they can pass with both hands. I feel like if a player can do that at a young age, where the passing is limited, the basketball understanding and skill level is very low, Usually you'll see a team that dominates has that one or two players that are just faster than everyone. They can dribble the ball and make layups. I try to keep those things in mind and be player specific and work on the specific skills at that point in their career that's going to help them improve, whether it's a beginner or a pro player. Number 2 is giving players basketball homework. And what I mean is teaching players how to train with purpose. One of my own goals as a trainer is to teach players how to train themselves. I want to be able to give them just some guidelines, some structure, so they can go home and train themselves. You guys know, if you're a trainer out there, the players that end up being the best and develop the quickest are the ones with that work ethic. They got that drive that they will master those few drills that you're doing in your session. You know, they're getting after it in the driveway, working on it before or after practice. They'll do it down in their basement. Those are the kids that really take off. It comes down to their work ethic. They listen to what you say. They take their basketball homework or their specific drills that you're giving them, or clips that you're asking them to watch, or just teaching them ways of how to study and watch the game as a student rather than as a fan. And they apply those things on their own. Also, here's a big tip. When you're talking to parents, they're coming to you, those that are paying you to train their child, they're coming to you for results, for help and advice. You're going to help them and yourself when you tell them, hey, I'm going to train them. I'm going to give them structure. I'm going to give them a customized program, but it's on them to work on their own. And then you can just encourage their parents to get on, like, hey, did you work on what coach told you? Are you getting out there in the driveway? And then you and the parent, you can work as a team to try to develop that child, as opposed to the parent just looking at you of like, my child's success is going to depend on your 1 hour training once a week or once every other week. That's just not realistic. So teach a player how to train themselves. Next is a team session. So this is the middle school group of the homeschool team that I train with, Heart for Christ. One thing they have been struggling with in the middle of their season is, you know, with today's game, everybody wants to shoot the three, or they want to go all the way to the basket to finish. And really that mid-range game is kind of disappearing, and the mid-range floater and shot. Now, I'm a big believer in that. And even when I was playing overseas, my first coach overseas, he had a system where he believed in only three-point shots, finishes at the rim, or free throws. He really didn't like mid-range shots. You're seeing that now with D'Antoni and his offense with the Houston Rockets, and before that with the Suns. He was really successful. And you see it a lot with the Warriors, and that's kind of the trend of the game. But there's still a lot of effective offenses and players that work on that mid-range game, and they got that shot. So here we're working on, if there's a hard closeout, finishing in the paint or finishing with a floater pull-up. When I'm dealing with a team, I just don't have time to correct each and every player, so it's very important that I demonstrate first, explain the right way and the wrong way so the players understand, and then we go from there. If I need to pull a player to the side, I won't stop the whole group often. What I'll try to do is pull that player to the side, work with them during a water break or whatever, before or after practice. Boom, I got the shot. If you close it out hard, just a rip, and then get your feet set. You're going to shoot with your right hand. Boom, right, left. Or what we work on, one dribble hop. Rip through, one dribble, hop. Ball. Good. Ball. You guys pump fake. Pump and don't come up. Keep your butt down. Pump, stay down. One dribble, shot. If you come up, look, you just got to go right back down anyway before you drive. So just stay down. Pump. Thank you guys as always for watching the vlog. I hope it helps. Shoot me any comments, any questions. Do my best to help you guys out. And I want to make a little announcement. I'm going to do a kind of a trainer mentor program. I'm kind of working on that now. I've got a couple trainers that I've been kind of pouring into and helping and developing over time, and they're having a lot of success. So I want to make this kind of official, because I get so many messages, some DMs and emails. It's hard to keep up with sometimes. So I want to be able to put this all in a group. Hopefully this benefits you guys, not just from me, but just as a community of coaches and trainers to help each other improve the game, and most importantly, invest in the kids that God puts in your life. I'm really excited about it. That'll be coming soon. God bless.